Min-jae froze in the doorway like he'd been shot. His maid, Amara, was crumpled on the marble floor of his penthouse bathroom, mascara streaming down her brown cheeks, phone clutched in her trembling hand. Her whole body shook with silent sobs. Amara? His voice came out rougher than he intended. She looked up, eyes wide with terror. Sir, I'm sorry. I'll clean this up. Who made you cry? The question hung in the air. She stared at him like she didn't understand Korean anymore. He'd never used that tone with her before. Low, deadly, the one reserved for men who betrayed him. No one. I'm fine. Don't lie to me. He stepped closer, and she flinched. Something twisted in his chest. Your hands are shaking. You're on my bathroom floor. This isn't fine. Her phone buzzed. A text lit up the screen. You're nothing. Just a black BTC who was convenient. Delete my number. Everything went silent. Min-jae read it again. His jaw clenched so hard his teeth ached. Who is he? His voice dropped to a whisper. Tell me his name. Please, Mr. Kim, it doesn't matter. It matters to me. He crouched down to her level, forcing her to meet his eyes. Give me a name, Amara, right now. She whispered, Marcus. His name is Marcus. Min-jae stood, already pulling out his phone. Does he live in Seoul? What are you? No, please don't. Does he live in Seoul? The look on his face made her blood run cold. This wasn't her employer anymore. This was the man the Korean underworld called Baeko, the White Tiger. Itaewon, she breathed. He lives in Itaewon. Min-jae made a call, spoke in rapid Korean, hung up. Pack a bag. You're staying in the guest room tonight. Sir, I can't. That wasn't a request. He extended his hand to help her up. And Amara? By morning, Marcus is going to regret every word he ever said to you. 3 months ago. Amara had been in Seoul for exactly 2 weeks when she got the call that would change her life. Girl, you got the job. Her best friend Zoe's voice screamed through the phone. The Kim Min-jae job. Do you know how much he's paying? Amara stared at the email on her laptop screen. The salary had so many zeros she had to count twice. This has to be a mistake, she whispered. Zoe, this is 3 times what other housekeeping positions pay. Why would some rich Korean guy pay this much for a maid? Because he's not just rich, babe. He's stupid rich. My friend Sonny says he owns half the nightclubs in Gangnam. Probably has ties to some shady stuff, but who cares? You're broke, your visa's about to expire, and you need this. Amara bit her lip. Zoe was right. After Marcus had convinced her to move to Seoul with him, then promptly dumped her for a Korean girl 3 days after they landed, she'd been scrambling. Her savings were gone. Her pride was shattered. Fine, I'll take it. That's my girl. And hey, maybe this Min-jae guy will be hot. Amara laughed bitterly. I'm done with men. Marcus cured me of that. She had no idea how wrong she'd be. The Kim penthouse was like something out of a magazine. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul's skyline. Marble everything. Art that probably cost more than her entire life. And then there was Min-jae. He walked into the living room while she was dusting, and Amara's breath caught. Tall, sharp jawline, hair styled perfectly. Expensive suit that fit like it was sewn onto his body. But it was his eyes that stopped her. Dark, intense, like he could see straight through her. You're the new housekeeper? His English was accented but clear. Yes, sir, Amara Jackson. He nodded once. I'm not home often. Keep the place clean. Don't touch my office. Your quarters are on the 2nd floor. Any questions? No, sir. Good. He started to walk away, then paused. And Amara? You're safe here. Whatever brought you to Seoul, whoever hurt you, they can't reach you in my home. She blinked. How did you? But he was already gone. The first month was lonely. Min-jae was a ghost, leaving before dawn, returning after midnight. Sometimes she'd hear him on the phone, speaking rapid Korean that sounded like threats. Once she'd seen him come home with blood on his knuckles. She didn't ask questions, but slowly, something shifted. It started small. She'd leave his coffee ready in the morning, exactly how he liked it. Black. 2 sugars. He started leaving notes. Thank you. Then, the breakfast was excellent. Then, you don't have to wait up, but I appreciate it. One night, she was cleaning the living room at 2 a.m., unable to sleep when he came home early. You're still awake? He looked surprised. Couldn't sleep, she admitted. Jet lag's still kicking my ass, even after a month. The corner of his mouth twitched, almost a smile. I have the same problem. You're Korean. I spent 5 years in New York. My body never adjusted back. He loosened his tie. Do you want tea? I was going to make some. That's how it started. Tea at 2 a.m. turned into conversations. Conversations turned into confessions. Why did you come to Seoul? He asked one night, both of them sitting on the balcony, the city glittering beneath them. Amara wrapped her hands around her mug. Stupidity? Love? Same thing, right? Tell me. So she did. Told him about Marcus, how they'd met in college, how he'd promised her the world, convinced her to use her savings to move to Seoul with him for his business opportunity, how he dumped her 3 days later for a Korean woman who fit his image better. He said I was too dark for Korea, she whispered, that I embarrassed him. Min-jae's knuckles went white around his cup. Give me his address. What? No. Amara. He turned to face her fully. I'm not a good man. I've done things that would horrify you, but I protect what's mine. And you're under my roof. That makes you mine to protect. Her heart did something complicated in her chest. I don't need protection, she said softly. I just need to forget him. Then let me help you forget. The air between them crackled with something dangerous. Mr. Kim. Min-jae, call me Min-jae. Min-jae, she breathed. This isn't a good idea. I know. But he didn't move away. Neither did she. The kiss happened 2 weeks later. She'd been arranging flowers in the dining room, white orchids his favorite, when he came home early. Blood on his shirt, exhaustion in his eyes. Oh my God, are you hurt? She rushed to him. It's not mine. But he swayed. Sit down, now. She guided him to the couch, started unbuttoning his shirt to check for wounds. Her hands trembled against his chest. Amara. She looked up. His face was inches from hers. You should be afraid of me, he whispered. I'm not. You should be. I'm not. He kissed her like he was drowning and she was air. Desperate. Hungry. His hands tangled in her hair and she gasped against his mouth. Every nerve in her body lit up. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, he pressed his forehead to hers. This is dangerous, he said. I know. I have enemies. People who would hurt you to get to me. I know. If we do this, if we cross this line, there's no going back. You'll be mine. Completely. Her pulse thundered. Maybe I want to be yours. He kissed her again. Slower this time. Sweeter. Like she was something precious. That night, everything changed. For 6 weeks, they existed in a bubble. Secret touches. Stolen kisses. Nights when he'd come home and pull her into his arms like she was the only real thing in his violent world. I love you, he whispered one night, her head on his chest, his fingers tracing patterns on her back. I know I shouldn't. I know this is selfish, but I love you, Amara. I love you too. She'd never meant anything more, but she should have known. Happiness like that doesn't last. Amara sat in the guest bedroom Min-jae had given her, staring at her phone. Marcus's texts kept coming, each one crueler than the last. Did you really think I loved you? You were just convenient pussy while I was between real girlfriends. Go back to America. Korea doesn't want you. She'd been stupid to reach out to him, stupid to think that maybe, after 3 months, he'd apologize. that he'd see she was thriving now, working for one of Seoul's most powerful men, and regret what he'd lost. Instead, he destroyed her all over again. A knock on the door made her jump. "It's me," Min-jae's voice, softer than usual. She opened the door. He'd changed into casual clothes, black t-shirt, jeans, somehow looked even more dangerous this way. "How are you?" He searched her face. "I'm okay." "Don't lie to me, Amara. Not tonight." Her eyes welled up again. Damn it. She'd cried enough. I'm so stupid. Why did I contact him? Why did I think he'd... Her voice broke. Min-jae pulled her into his arms. She buried her face in his chest and let herself break. Really break. Sobbed until her ribs ached and she couldn't breathe. He didn't say anything, just held her, stroked her hair, let her destroy his shirt with her tears. When she finally calmed down, he tilted her chin up. "Listen to me very carefully," he said, his voice deadly calm. "What Marcus said to you, every single word, is a lie. You are beautiful. You are valuable. You are worth more than he could ever comprehend. Do you understand?" She nodded, unable to speak. "Good. Now sleep. Tomorrow things will be different." "What are you going to do?" He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "What I should have done 3 months ago." The next morning, Amara woke to frantic pounding on her door. "Girl, open up! Open up!" She stumbled out of bed, confused. "Zoe?" Her best friend burst in, phone in hand, eyes wild. "Have you seen the news?" "What? No, I just woke up." Zoe shoved her phone in Amara's face. The headline was in Korean, but the picture was clear. Marcus being dragged out of a nightclub by police. His face was bruised, his shirt torn. "What happened?" Amara's voice came out small. "Apparently, he got into a fight last night at Club Octagon. Multiple witnesses say he started it, got aggressive with some men who told him to leave. He's being charged with assault and disturbing the peace. But here's the crazy part. The club's owner, Kim Min-jae, your boss." Everything clicked into place. "Oh my God." "Yeah, oh my God." Zoe grabbed her shoulders. "Amara, what did you tell him?" "I didn't. He saw the texts and he asked for Marcus's name and I..." Panic rose in her throat. "Zoe, I didn't think he'd actually..." "Babe." Zoe's eyes were wide. "Your boss is in the Mafia. What did you think was going to happen?" Amara's hands started shaking again. "I need to talk to him. I need to..." "He's not here." Both women jumped. One of Min-jae's men, Tae-young, his head of security, stood in the doorway. "Boss said to tell you, don't worry, Marcus won't bother you again. He's being deported." "Deported?" Amara whispered. "Immigration violations. Boss made some calls. Marcus will be on a plane to the States by tonight, banned from re-entering Korea for 10 years. The room spun, and Boss said... Tae-young looked uncomfortable. "He'll be home late. He has business to handle." After he left, Zoe let out a low whistle. "Girl, this man destroyed your ex's entire life in one night, for you." "That's insane. That's love." Zoe's expression turned serious. The dangerous, possessive, I'll burn the world down for you kind. "How long have you two been together?" "We're not. He's my employer, Amara. Don't bullshit me. I've known you since freshman year. You're glowing. You've been glowing for weeks. Spill." So she did, told Zoe everything. The late-night conversations, the kiss, the 6 weeks of secret heaven before Marcus's texts had ruined everything. "Wait," Zoe held up a hand. "So you two are in love, but you're pretending he's just your boss? Why?" "Because it's complicated. His world is dangerous. He's told me people would use me to hurt him. Enemies, rival gangs. It's not safe." "But you love him." "That doesn't matter. Like hell it doesn't." Zoe crossed her arms. "Look, I don't know much about the Mafia or whatever, but I know this. That man just ended your ex's entire Korean life because he made you cry. He's not letting you go. The question is, are you brave enough to hold on?" Amara didn't have an answer. 3 days later. Min-jae had been avoiding her. He came home after she was asleep, left before she woke, left notes instead of conversations. The distance was killing her. She was leaving his coffee one morning when she found a note on the counter in his handwriting. "I'm sorry. This is for your safety. Please understand." She crumpled it in her fist. "Coward," she whispered to the empty kitchen. That night, Zoe dragged her to Club Octagon. "The same club where Marcus got his ass handed to him?" Amara protested. "Exactly. You need to reclaim your power, babe. Plus, I heard the bartender is fine as hell. His name's Ji-hoon, and he's been texting me. You're trying to get laid, and you're trying to mope. We're both coping. Let's go." The club was insane. Lights, music, bodies pressed together. Zoe immediately found Ji-hoon at the bar, leaving Amara alone in the VIP section they'd been escorted to. Another Min-jae touch, probably. Even absent, he was taking care of her. She was nursing a drink when a man slid into the booth beside her. "You're Amara, right?" She turned. He was handsome, soft features, kind eyes. Korean, but his English was perfect. "Do I know you?" "Not yet. I'm Daniel Park. I work with Min-jae. Well, not with him. I'm his accountant." He smiled sheepishly. The boring, legitimate side of his business. Despite everything, she smiled back. "Nice to meet you, I guess. I've heard a lot about you." "From Min-jae?" "From everyone. The whole organization knows about the boss's maid who has him wrapped around her finger." Amara's cheeks heated. We're not, hey, no judgment. I think it's great. I've never seen him like this. More human, you know?" Daniel's expression turned serious. "But I wanted to warn you, there's talk. Some of the older men in the organization think you're a weakness, a liability." Her stomach dropped. "What kind of talk?" "Nothing concrete yet. But Min-jae has enemies. If they knew how much you mean to him, he's pushing me away because of this, isn't he?" Everything made sense now. Daniel nodded. "He's trying to protect you. But between you and me, I don't think it's working. He's miserable." "So am I. Then fight for him." Daniel stood. "Look, I just met you, but I can tell you're tough. You moved across the world, survived a bad breakup, and didn't run when you figured out what Min-jae really does. That's not weakness. That's strength. Don't let him make this decision alone." He left her sitting there, heart pounding. Amara was halfway across the club, heading for the exit, when she saw him. Min-jae, in the VIP section above, surrounded by men in expensive suits, conducting business. His face was cold, expressionless, the face he wore for his underworld dealings. Then their eyes met. Everything stopped. The music, the crowd, her breath. He stood abruptly, said something sharp in Korean, started moving toward the stairs. She ran, didn't know why, just knew she couldn't face him here. Not like this, not when she didn't know what to say. She burst out of the club into the alley behind it, gasping for air. The bass from inside vibrated through the walls. "Amara!" She spun. Min-jae stood at the alley entrance, breathing hard. "Why are you running from me?" "Why are you avoiding me?" She shot back. They stared at each other. The space between them felt like miles. "You know why," he said quietly. "Because you think I'm weak? Because you think I can't handle your world?" "Because I refuse to let you die for me." His voice cracked. "Do you understand? The men I deal with, they would slit your throat just to make me watch. They would torture you to get information. They would—" He stopped, jaw clenched. "I can't. I won't let that happen." "So you're just going to cut me out? Pretend the last 2 months didn't happen? If it keeps you alive, yes. That's bullshit." Tears streamed down her face. "You don't get to make that choice alone. You don't get to love me and then throw me away because you're scared." "I'm not scared." "Yes, you are." She stepped closer. "You're terrified, and you know what? So am I. I'm scared every day. Scared that you won't come home. Scared that someone will hurt you. Scared that I'm not strong enough for this. But I'm still here, Min-jae. I'm still choosing you. You shouldn't. Too fucking bad. I do." He closed the distance between them in 2 strides, cupping her face. Amara, don't. Don't say you're sorry. Don't say this is for my own good. Just, her voice broke. Just tell me you don't love me. Tell me the last 2 months were nothing. Tell me you feel nothing when you look at me. If you can say that, I'll walk away. I swear. Min-jae's composure shattered. His forehead dropped to hers, and when he spoke, his voice was wrecked. I can't. God help me, I can't. I love you so much it's destroying me. Every second I'm away from you, I'm in hell. Every time I come home and see you sleeping, I want to crawl into bed beside you and never leave. You're everything. She kissed him. Hard. Desperate. Pouring every ounce of frustration and love and fear into it. He kissed her back like he was starving, backing her against the alley wall, hands in her hair, body pressed against hers. When they broke apart, both trembling, she whispered, "Then stop pushing me away. I don't know how to keep you safe. Then teach me to keep myself safe. Train me, prepare me, but don't shut me out. I can't survive that." He searched her eyes for a long moment. Then finally he nodded. Okay. But you follow my rules. You stay alert. You learn self-defense. And if I say run, you run. Agreed? Agreed. He kissed her again, softer this time. I'm sorry. For the last 3 days. For making you cry. Shut up and take me home. The smile that broke across his face was sunshine. Yes, ma'am. 2 weeks later. Things were different now. Better. Min-jae had stopped hiding their relationship from his inner circle. Amara had started training with Tae-young, self-defense, situational awareness, escape routes. It was exhausting and terrifying and empowering all at once. And Zoe? Zoe was head over heels for Ji-hoon. He's taking me to Namsan Tower tonight, she gushed, sprawled across Amara's bed. Says he wants to put a lock on the fence. How romantic is that? Very romantic. I'm happy for you. You better be. You're the one who dragged me to Seoul, remember? Well, technically Marcus dragged you and you dragged me, but still, look how it worked out. You got your Mafia boss, I got my hot bartender, everyone wins. Amara laughed. When you put it that way. Her phone rang. Min-jae's name flashed on the screen. Hey, she answered, smiling. Amara. His voice was tight. Wrong. Where are you? Home. You're home. With Zoe. Why? What's wrong? Lock the doors. Now. Don't open them for anyone except Tae-young. He's on his way. Her blood went cold. Min-jae, what's happening? There's been a situation. I can't explain now. Just, please. Lock the doors. Stay inside. I'll be home as soon as I can. Are you hurt? No, but Amara? He paused. I love you. Remember that. The line went dead. Zoe sat up, eyes wide. What's going on? I don't know. Amara's hands shook as she ran to check the locks. But something's wrong. Something's really wrong. 4 hours later, Tae-young had arrived, armed and tense, and stationed himself by the door. He wouldn't tell them anything, just kept checking his phone, jaw tight. Amara was pacing the living room, anxiety eating her alive, when the door burst open. Min-jae stumbled in, supported by 2 of his men. His suit was torn. Blood, so much blood, soaked his shirt. Oh my God, Amara ran to him. What happened? Who did this? I'm fine. But he wasn't. His face was gray, his breathing shallow. You're not fine, you need a hospital. No hospitals. He gritted his teeth as his men lowered him onto the couch. Can't. Too many questions. Then I'm calling a doctor. Already on the way, Tae-young said. Boss, you need to lie down. Not yet. Min-jae grabbed Amara's hand. Need to tell you. Save your strength. Tell me after you're patched up. No, now. His grip tightened. It was the Nakamura clan, Japanese Yakuza. They've been trying to move into my territory for months. Tonight they made their move, ambushed me and my men outside a meeting. Amara's vision blurred. You could have died. But I didn't. He tried to smile. Failed. Takes more than a few Yakuza to kill me. This isn't funny. I know, baby, I'm sorry." He winced as pain lanced through him. The doctor arrived, a small Korean woman with a medical bag and zero patience. "Out," she ordered everyone. "I need space to work." "I'm staying," Amara said. "Amara?" Min-jae started. "I'm staying." The doctor shrugged. "Fine, hold his hand. He's going to need it. This will hurt." Hurt was an understatement. The doctor cleaned wounds, stitched cuts, removed a bullet from Min-jae's shoulder. He tried not to scream. Failed. Amara held his hand through all of it, tears streaming down her face, whispering, "I'm here. I'm right here. You're okay. I've got you." When it was finally over, the doctor left instructions and pain medication. Min-jae lay on the couch, bandaged and exhausted, Amara beside him. "I should have stayed away from you," he whispered. "Should have kept my distance. Now you're in danger because of me." "I don't care." "Amara, I don't care." She turned to face him fully. "Do you hear me? I don't care that it's dangerous. I don't care that people want to hurt you. I don't care that your world is violent and scary and insane. I care about you. Just you. And I'm not going anywhere." His eyes filled with tears. She'd never seen him cry before. "I don't deserve you," he choked out. "Too bad, you're stuck with me." She kissed him gently, carefully, avoiding his injuries. He kissed her back like she was oxygen. "Marry me," he whispered against her lips. She pulled back. "What? Marry me. I know it's insane. I know we've only been together for 2 months, but I've never been more sure of anything. You're it for me, Amara. You're everything. So marry me, please." Her heart threatened to explode. "You're high on pain medication." "I'm high on you. Same thing." He tried to sit up, groaned. "Okay, bad idea, but I'm serious. I want you to be my wife. I want the whole world to know you're mine. I want—" "Yes." He blinked. "Yes? Yes, you idiot. Yes, I'll marry you." She was crying again. Happy tears this time. "But you're buying me a ring when you're not bleeding all over your couch." He laughed. Actually laughed. Then pulled her down for another kiss. From across the room, Zoe whispered to Ji-hoon, "Did that just happen?" "I think so," Ji-hoon whispered back. "This is the craziest love story I've ever seen." "Want to make ours crazier?" Zoe turned to him. "What?" Ji-hoon took her hand. "I know we've only been dating for 2 weeks, but working for Min-jae has taught me life's too short to play it safe. So, Zoe Williams, will you be my girlfriend? Officially?" "Oh my God." Zoe's eyes went wide. "Yes, obviously, yes." They kissed, and Tae-young, still standing guard by the door, rolled his eyes. This is a circus. But even he was smiling. 1 month later. The last month had been a whirlwind. Min-jae had recovered, though he still moved carefully when his shoulder bothered him. The Nakamura clan had been dealt with. Amara didn't ask for details. The engagement ring on her finger was stunning, a large diamond surrounded by smaller sapphires. But something was wrong with her body. It started with nausea, then exhaustion, then missing her period. "No," she whispered, staring at the pregnancy test in her hand. "No, no, no." 2 pink lines stared back. She was pregnant. Panic seized her. They weren't married yet. Min-jae's world was still dangerous. How could she bring a baby into this? How could she— "Amara?" Min-jae's voice from outside the bathroom. "Are you okay? You've been in there for 20 minutes. She shoved the test in her pocket. "Fine, just give me a second." She splashed water on her face, tried to calm her racing heart. Couldn't. When she emerged, Min-jae took one look at her and frowned. "You're pale. Are you sick?" "No, maybe. I don't know." "That's not an answer." "I'm just tired." He didn't believe her. She could see it in his eyes, but he let it go. "Okay. Well, I have to head out for a meeting. Will you be all right?" "Yeah, go." He kissed her forehead. "I love you. I love you too." After he left, she called Zoe. "Emergency. I need you. Now." 30 minutes later, Zoe was staring at the pregnancy test like it might explode. Holy shit. Yeah, you're pregnant. Yeah, with Min-jae's baby. No, with the mailman's. Yes, with Min-jae's baby. Zoe set down the test. Okay, breathe. This is good news, right? You two are engaged. You love each other. A baby is terrifying. Amara's voice cracked. His world almost killed him a month ago. How can I bring a baby into that? How can I? She started crying. I'm so scared, Zoe. Zoe pulled her into a hug. I know, but babe, you're not alone. You have Min-jae, you have me. You have an entire Korean mafia willing to kill for you at this point. This baby will be the most protected kid in Seoul. That's not funny. It's a little funny. Despite everything, Amara laughed through her tears. I need to tell him. When? Tonight, before I lose my nerve. Min-jae came home at 8 p.m., exhausted. He found Amara sitting on the couch, hands clasped in her lap, eyes red. What's wrong? He was beside her in an instant. Did something happen? Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. I need to tell you something. His expression turned serious. Okay, tell me. She took a deep breath. I'm pregnant. Silence. Complete deafening silence. Min-jae stared at her like she'd spoken another language. He couldn't finish the sentence. Pregnant. About 5 weeks, I think. I took a test this morning, and then another one. Both positive. She was talking too fast, words tumbling out. I know we're not married yet, and I know your world is dangerous, and I know this is probably terrible timing, and if you want me to... Stop. His voice was rough. Just stop talking for a second. She stopped. Her heart hammered against her ribs. Min-jae stood, ran a hand through his hair, paced to the window, stood there for what felt like hours. Say something, she whispered. Please. He turned, and the look on his face, he was crying. Min-jae, you're pregnant. His voice broke. We're going to have a baby. Yes, I know it's scary and scary. He crossed the room, dropped to his knees in front of her, taking her hands. Amara, I'm terrified. I'm absolutely fucking terrified. But I'm also... He pressed his forehead to her lap. I'm so happy I can barely breathe. A baby. Our baby. Relief crashed through her so hard she sobbed. Really? You're not angry? Angry? He looked up, tears on his cheeks. Why would I be angry? You're giving me a family, a real family. Something I never thought I'd have. How could I be anything but grateful? She slid off the couch into his arms, and they held each other, both crying, both scared, both overwhelmed. We're going to be parents, she whispered. We're going to be parents, he echoed. Then, we need to get married, soon, before you start showing. I want you to be my wife before our baby arrives. That's very traditional of you. I'm a traditional man. He kissed her. How about next month? Next month? Too slow. We could do it next week. Min-jae. He grinned. Actual joy on his face. I'm kidding. Mostly. But seriously. Will you marry me next month? Small ceremony. Just us. Zoe, Ji-hoon, my inner circle. Nothing fancy. Yes. She kissed him. Yes, let's do it. 3 weeks later. Planning a wedding in 3 weeks was insane, but somehow they did it. The ceremony was held at a private estate outside Seoul, one of Min-jae's properties, elegant, intimate, perfect. Amara wore a simple white dress. Min-jae wore a black suit. Zoe was her maid of honor, crying through the entire ceremony. Ji-hoon stood as Min-jae's best man, looking proud. When the officiant said, "You may kiss the bride," Min-jae cupped Amara's face and kissed her like they were the only two people in the world. I love you, he whispered against her lips. Forever. Forever, she promised. The reception was small, just 30 people. Min-jae's men, a few trusted friends, Zoe and Ji-hoon, music, dancing, laughter. During dinner, Zoe stood to give a toast. I've known Amara since college, she began, and I've watched her go through hell. bad relationships, heartbreak, moving across the world for a man who didn't deserve her. She looked at Minjai. And then she met you. And I'll be honest, when I found out you were in the Mafia, I was terrified. I thought, this is going to end badly. Nervous laughter rippled through the room, but then I saw the way you look at her. Like she's the sun and you're just orbiting. I saw the way you protect her, the way you'd burn the world down if someone hurt her. Zoe's voice thickened with emotion. And I realized this is what love looks like. Real, messy, terrifying, beautiful love. So here's to Minjai and Amara. May your love story never end. To Minjai and Amara. Everyone raised their glasses. Amara wiped tears from her eyes. Minjai squeezed her hand under the table. Then Ji-hoon stood. I have an announcement, too. Zoe looked up. Babe, what are you? Ji-hoon dropped to one knee. Oh my God! Zoe's hands flew to her mouth. Zoe Williams, Ji-hoon said, pulling out a ring. I know it's only been 2 months. I know this is crazy. But watching Minjai and Amara taught me that when you know, you know. So will you marry me? Yes! Zoe launched herself at him, nearly knocking him over. Yes, yes, yes! The room erupted in cheers. Amara turned to Minjai, grinning. Did you know about this? Maybe. He kissed her temple. Ji-hoon asked my permission last week. You're a terrible secret keeper. Only when it comes to good news. 6 months later. The nursery was finished. Soft yellow walls, white furniture, stuffed animals everywhere. Amara stood in the doorway, 8 months pregnant, one hand on her swollen belly. She's going to be spoiled rotten, she said to Minjai, who was assembling yet another piece of baby furniture. She? He looked up. You think it's a girl? I know it's a girl, mother's intuition. Well, if she's anything like her mother, she'll be strong, beautiful, and absolutely terrifying. Amara laughed. You're such a sap now. Only for you. He stood, crossed to her, wrapped his arms around her from behind. His hands settled on her belly. And for her. The baby kicked, and they both felt it. She knows your voice, Amara whispered. Good. She should know her father's going to protect her forever. He kissed Amara's neck. Both of you. Forever. That night they had dinner with Zoe and Ji-hoon, who were planning their own wedding for the following spring. I still can't believe this is our life, Zoe said, looking around Minjai's dining room. A year ago we were broke and heartbroken in America. Now we're in Seoul, engaged to amazing men, and you're about to be a mom. It's surreal, Amara admitted. It's destiny, Ji-hoon said. You were meant to come here, meant to meet us. Even if it took a terrible ex to get me here? Amara smiled. Especially then, Minjai said. Marcus was just the beginning of your story, not the ending. Zoe raised her glass. To new beginnings. To new beginnings, they all echoed. As Amara sat there, surrounded by the people she loved, carrying her daughter, married to the man who'd saved her in every way a person can be saved, she realized something. She'd come to Seoul broken, lost, afraid, and she'd found home, not in a place, in a person, in love. What are you thinking? Minjai murmured beside her. She turned to him, eyes shining. That I'd do it all again. Every heartbreak, every tear, every moment of fear. I'd do it all again if it meant ending up here with you. He kissed her, soft and sweet and full of promise. I love you, Amara Kim. I love you too. Outside, Seoul glittered with a million lights. Inside, they had everything they needed, each other. 3 weeks later, Amara gave birth to a healthy baby girl. They named her Grace, for the grace that had brought them together. Zoe and Ji-hoon married that spring in a ceremony twice as chaotic and twice as beautiful as Minjai and Amara's. Minjai's organization thrived under his leadership, and with Amara by his side, he found himself becoming a better man, still dangerous when needed, but tempered by love. And Marcus, he never returned to Korea. Last anyone heard, he was still in America, living a mediocre life, completely unaware that the woman he'd discarded had become a queen. Some stories end with revenge. This one ended with something better: peace, love, family, and a baby girl who would grow up knowing she was fiercely, completely, eternally loved. 2 years later, Grace Kim took her first steps on a sunny afternoon in May. Min-jae was on his knees, arms outstretched, as his daughter wobbled toward him. Amara filmed from the couch, laughing through happy tears. "Come on, baby girl," Min-jae encouraged. "You can do it." Grace took 1 step, 2, 3, then fell into her father's arms, giggling. "She did it!" Min-jae scooped her up, spinning her around. "Did you see that? She walked." "I saw." Amara's smile was radiant. "Our genius baby." Zoe and Ji-hoon arrived an hour later with their own news. Zoe was pregnant. "We're going to be parents," Zoe shrieked, "and our kids are going to grow up together and be best friends just like us." "Or mortal enemies," Ji-hoon joked. "Don't even say that," Zoe swatted him. They celebrated with dinner, Korean barbecue, Grace's favorite, or at least her favorite thing to throw. And as Amara watched her family, her found family, her chosen family, she felt nothing but gratitude. Life wasn't perfect. Min-jae's world was still dangerous. She still had moments of fear, still had nightmares about losing him. But they faced it together, and together they were unstoppable. "To family," Min-jae said, raising his glass. "To family," everyone echoed. Grace babbled something that sounded like family, and everyone laughed. Yeah, this was home, this was love, this was everything. Was